Well, good morning, all my friends. I hope that you had a lovely weekend. Of course, we had, shootings in Fort Lauderdale, drivel from Hollywood, bunch of whacked out movie stars, living in La La Land. Of course, La La Land won a bunch of awards. That's their whole world. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, just the crap that's coming out of there. Those poor Mel Gibson and Vincent Vaughn had to listen to that drivel from Meryl Streep. Oh my God. Ah, poor thing. Anyway, we are in First Samuel, and I'll be praying also for the soldiers in Israel and their families. That's why I just cannot wait for Trump to be president so he can actually start doing stuff. Though he already has. I mean, the guy's amazing. But yeah, anyway. Okay, so we're in chapter 24 now of 1 Samuel. And I need to know from you guys if you're even listening, or that, this is something that you want. I know one person for sure, but or maybe two, but I need to, I've got a lot of subscribers, so I'm hoping that this is something that you want me to do. I don't mind doing it. I like it. I love reading the Bible, and although I'm not that great at it, but at least we get God's word. So anyway, let me know. Okay, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, something. All right, and let me know how you're all doing out there. Okay. So chapter 24, David is in a cave. He's hiding out from Saul, because Saul wants to kill him, and so David's in a cave at Engadi, and cuts off Saul's skirt, but spares his life. He urges thereby his innocence. Okay. So in other words, he could have killed Saul, but he decides not to. So, all right. And it came to pass that when Saul was returned from following the Philistines, that it was told him, saying, Behold, David is in the wilderness of Engedi. And then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all of Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. And it came to the sheepcotes by the way, where was a cave, and Saul went in to recover his feet. And David and his men remained in the sides of the cave. And the men of David said unto him, Behold, the day of which the Lord said unto thee, Behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good to thee. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privily. And it came to pass afterward that Saul's heart smote him, because he had cut off Saul's skirt. So he said unto his men, The Lord forbid that I should do this thing unto my master. The Lord anointed to stretch forth mine hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Lord. And David stayed his servants with these words, and suffered them not to rise against Saul. But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. So he did good for evil. And David also arose afterward and went out of the cave and cried after Saul, saying, My lord the king. And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth and bowed himself. And David said to Saul, Wherefore hearest thou men's words, saying, Behold, David seeketh thy hurt? Behold, this day thine eyes have seen how the Lord has delivered thee today into mine hand in the cave. And some bade me to kill thee, but mine eye spared thee. And I said, I will not put forth mine hand against my Lord, for he is the Lord's anointed. Moreover, my father, see yea, the skirt of thy robe in my hand, for in it that I cut off the skirt of thy robe, and killed thee not. Know thou and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in my hand. In my hand. And I have not sinned against thee, yet thou huntest my soul to take it. The Lord judge between me and thee, and the Lord avenge me of thee. But mine hand shall not be upon thee. And as saith the proverb of the ancients, wickedness proceedeth from the wicked, but mine hand shall not be upon thee. After whom is the king of Israel come out? After whom dost thou pursue? After a dead dog, after a flea. The Lord therefore be judge, and judge between me and thee, and see and plead my cause, and deliver me out of thine hand. And it came to pass that when David had made an end of speaking these words unto Saul, that Saul said, Is this thy voice, my son David? And Saul lifted up his voice and wept. And he said to David, Thou art more righteous than I, for thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded thee evil. And thou hast shown this day how that thou hast dealt well with me, for as much as when the Lord has delivered me into thine hand, thou killest me not. For if a man find his enemy, will he let him go well away? Wherefore the Lord reward thee good, for thou hast done unto me this day. And now, behold, I know well that thou shalt surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel shall be established in thine hand. Swear now, therefore, unto me by the Lord, that thou wilt not cut off my seed after me, and that thou wilt not destroy my name out of my father's house. And David swore unto Saul, and Saul went home. But David got his men and got them up unto the hold. Samuel dies. David's message to Nebal, whose churlish answer provokes him, and Abigail pacifies him. Nabal's death. And when Samuel died, and all the Israelites were gathered together and lamented him and buried him in the house of Ramah, David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. There was a man in Maon whose possessions were in Carmel, and the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was shearing his sheep in Carmel. Now the name of the man was Nebal, and the name of his wife was Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding, a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb. David heard in the wilderness that Nebal did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men, and David said unto the young men, Get you up to Carmel, and go to Nebal, and greet him in my name. And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity, Peace be unto thee, and peace be unto thine house, peace be unto all that thou hast. And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thy shepherds were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there out missing unto them, all the while they were in Carmel. Ask thy young men, and I will show thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes, for we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thy hand into the servant and thy son David. And when David's young men came, they spoke to Nebal according to all these words in the name of David, and ceased. And Nebal answered David's servants and said, Who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? That there may be servants now a day that break away every man from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers, and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be? So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told all those sayings. And David said unto his men, Gird ye every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded his sword, and then went up after David about 400 men, and 200 bowed by the stuff. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, Behold, David sent some messengers out to the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and they were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant with them, when we were in the field. They were a wall unto us both by night and day, all the while we were with them, keeping the sheep. Now therefore know and consider, what wilt thou do? For evil is determined against our master, and against all that his household, for he is such a son of Bethleel, and a man cannot speak to him. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine, and 5 sheep readily dressed, and 5 measures of parched corn, and 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses. And she said unto her servants, Go on before me, behold, I'll come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. And it was so that she rode on the ass, and she came down by the covert of the hill, and behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. Now David had said, Surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him, and he hath requited me evil for good. Excuse me. So more also do God unto the enemies of David, if I leave of all that pertain to him by the morning's light any that pisseth against the wall. And then Abigail saw David. She hastened and lighted off the ass, and fell before David on her face, and bowed herself to the ground, and fell at his feet, and said, Upon me, my lord, upon me let this iniquity be, and let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience, and hear the words of thine handmaid. Let not my lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Bethel, so is he. Nebal is the name, and folly is with him. But I, thine handmaid, saw not the young men of my lord, whom thou didst send. Now therefore, my lord, as the Lord liveth, and as the soul liveth, seeing the Lord hath withholden thee from coming to shed blood, from avenging thyself with thine own hand, now let thine enemies and they that seek evil to my lord be as Nabal. And now this blessing which thine handmaid had brought unto my lord, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my lord. I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thine handmaid, for the Lord will certainly make my lord a sure house, because my lord fighteth the battles of the Lord, and evil hath not been found in thee all of thy days. I'm going to stop there and finish on at another time. We're stopping at verse 29. Have a great day. Bye-bye.